Hello everyone. This was from our trip to Kamakura, Japan. I've opened with a little bit of a homonym pun, as this building is a kura, or storehouse. We were on a little bit of a special mission today, as Lyndon is a big fan of Yasujiro Ozu's films, and wanted to visit his grave. I wanted to make it a bit of a pilgrimage, so we walked. Since we walked, we saw several interesting things along the way. As with so many things in life, it's not the destination, it's the journey. We paused to look at Jufukuji, the oldest Zen temple in Kamakura, and established in 1200. Behind the temple is a large graveyard with yagura, caves that were dug to use as tombs. Unfortunately, that area was not accessible to the public.
I always tell the really old temples, they got all these nameplates. I'm not sure what the name.
Yeah, I think they're like stickers, like the same as...
The stickers that we were discussing are the senjafuda, name slips that a worshipper would leave on the shrine gate. Old branches were braced up by posts. This would be an amazing place to sit and meditate, or just take in the view. I think this view was down the path that was blocked off to us. I spotted the husk of a cicada that had shed its skin into its adult form. We carried on, and a wrong turn led us to some yagura that were blocked off for safety. It was fascinating seeing the cut rock and lanterns in the front to help pay respect. The darkness behind the gate was intriguing. There were many in this area, and oddly, some had been repurposed into storage sheds. This is one of the other Kiridoshi, called Kamegayatsuzaka. The Kiridoshi are 7 ancient entrances into Kamakura, narrow pathways cut into stone.
Is this one of the passes? Really?
As you can hear, I was not expecting to find us walking on one, as it was pretty much surrounded by homes, and we saw several people either jogging on it or using it as a back route pathway to get around. You might recall my previous video on hiking the Asaina Kiridoshi, and if you haven't seen it, feel free to check it out. The surrounding walls had been stabilized with fencing. Like the Asaina Pass, this one is cut into the rock, and I was fascinated to see the chisel marks on the walls. Its long name refers to it being so steep that even a turtle would fall over, and it was a pretty decently challenging hill. As we passed through, we saw more markers to pay respects to the deceased.
Wow. Coolest garage ever.
There was a garage to my left, which was framed by stones and moss. It was here that I spotted yellow higanbana, or spider lilies. Our path reached areas more frequented by people, and it started following the railway. That rattle was just a vehicle driving by, but there was definitely a train nearby.
Eventually.
After a moment, I was rewarded. So, I should get back to the main reason why we were making this journey. Yasujiro Ozu was a Japanese filmmaker who lived from 1903 to 1963. After World War II, he focused on creating films, which I think could be described as a slice of life, featuring families and often young women's struggles for independence, especially when it comes to marriage. Just a sound warning, but another train's a-comin'. His films portray life in the post-war era and blend traditional Japanese life with the introduction of modern conveniences. His grave is at Engakuji, which is actually a very short walk from the nearby Kita-Kamakura station. We climbed the steps, and after paying our entrance fee and taking a much-needed water break, we looked for his grave. There are a number of websites which can guide you there, each with specific directions right down to the plot location. The haze shows how hot and humid it was. This gate was really impressive. We ended up walking in a little too far, but we came across this bamboo grove. When we passed by later, the light had changed, and it didn't look nearly as impressive. Finally, we arrived. Ozu's name is not present on the stone. Instead, the character for nothingness, Mu, is carved deep into the marker. After paying our respects, we glanced around at the surroundings.
Yeah.
Yasujiro Ozu lived in Kamakura for a number of years, and the station, Kita-Kamakura, appears in one of his films, just outside of the temple where his grave is. An oriental turtle dove perched at the top of the marker. We headed back down to the main areas of the temple. This bell's striker was tied up to prevent mischievous people from ringing it. Towards the back of the temple are some manicured gardens. Unfortunately, the sound of them being maintained broke the silence. We got away from the noise and found some quieter areas further in the back. The temple offers a number of activities, including daily zazen meditation sessions, which we participated in one on a previous trip a few years back. It was tough, and I remember being distracted by a noisy crow and children's music playing somewhere. The temple also observes a number of important days throughout the year. It was enjoyable seeing all the buildings and taking in the atmosphere. Lanterns, small statues, and flowers in bloom were enjoyable, finding the perfect angle to appreciate them. I believe this is a tea house, but it wasn't offering anything when we visited. We headed back to the more frequented areas and found a couple of groups of school children touring about. There's a spot where you can sit and admire the garden. We didn't stop there since there were too many people around, but the view really is amazing from there. Statues and stones with inscriptions line the yard here. And this seems like a good place to leave a coin for good luck. The details in the dragons carved on these gates were impressive. I hope you enjoyed seeing our journey to visit Yasujiro Ozu's grave and Engakuji. As always, thanks for watching.